You know, things don't always have to be so black and white, but this fucking video does because I think it's a pretty cool effect. So, as you may or may not know, my name is Rory Bentley, and I occasionally, very fucking occasionally, it would seem, do some rock and metal album reviews. And this year, as I've pretty much said in every single video I've done this year, has been just really just top draw in terms of how music is going at the moment, in particularly kind of rock and metal, the underground kind of elements of rock and metal as well. There's a lot of new bands, a lot of British bands as well, that are absolutely tearing this whole place apart. And for whatever reason, because I'm lazy, because I've been busy, or because I've just been actually fucking listening to this stuff, I haven't really posted a lot of videos and reviews, but the ones I have posted this year are still stuff that I'm 100% still listening to, 100% still enjoying, and they get me super excited and make me feel like a little bit better about my otherwise really sad, miserable life. So I'm going to discuss an album today, and hopefully like quite a lot more. I'm just going to just spunk out videos left, right, and centre because I've had a can of Monster, sugar-free Monster, kids, of course, because you know you got to protect your insides. I'm sure it's a lot worse for you actually, but whatever. At least I won't be as fat. But yeah, I'm going to discuss one album today that came out a couple of months ago by a British band from Brighton, actually, home of the Seagulls football team. A little bit of trivia for you there. So the band is called Black Peaks, and this is their debut album, Statues. Now, Black Peaks, if you haven't heard them, I guess the easiest way to describe them would be a post-hardcore band, but that just really does not even begin to scratch the surface. This band, this album, has all kinds of different things going on. You know, there's bits that sound like fucking Fugazi. There's bits that sound like Mastodon. There's bits that sound like Every Time I Die, Biffy Clyro, and there's a lot of like Tool, A Perfect Circle influences here. You know, there's punk rock, there's post rock, there's metal, and everything in between. And you know, it's not necessarily the easiest album to get into straight away, but it's something that makes an immediate impact. I was really looking to actually see these guys last week at the good old Download Festival, where it just fucking rained for about 3 days. Of course it did. It always rains at Download, but yeah, these were one of the real highlights of the weekend, and I'm actually going to be seeing them. I think it's this week or next week, at the Godiva Festival in Coventry, which is a terrible place in England, but it's a free festival, and like Black Peaks and Neck Deep are playing, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I mean, I actually seen them live. I was just so blown away. I mean, I'd already heard the album quite a lot, and I've really gave it a lot of chance because it's something that I found really interesting and intriguing, and I kept going back to. But there was other stuff that I've found a little bit easier to ease myself into. This was more of like, I know it's kind of good for me, and and there's enough about it that I'm enjoying, but it is somewhat impenetrable in some places. Well, after seeing the songs live and just performed with such kind of flesh-searing intensity, I've kind of gone straight back to this. I've bought the actual physical copy. I've cranked it loud, and I fucking absolutely adore this album. And, you know, it's going to be, you know, it is up there with my favourite albums of the year. It's up there with the Oceans of Slumber one that I was absolutely just fucking wanking off over a few months ago. It's up there with the Deftones album. It's up there with the Eshan album and the Milk Teeth album. And yeah, it just to describe the sound. Like I say, those bands that I say are, I guess, a good kind of starting point, but it just does so many different things. I mean, the first track, Glass Built Castles, has a brilliant chorus. It's got that perfect mix of chaotic kind of Mastodon, kind of rock and roll groovy riffs, with some truly kind of searing drums. That kind of almost Dillinger Escape Plan, chaotic, like it's going to tumble over any second kind of feel to it. And the vocals, well, the vocalist Will is just a force of nature, really. It sounds like about five different singers, this guy. Sometimes all of them singing at the same time. So he's got like a really kind of nice, kind of almost Jeff Buckley English accent kind of voice with some beautiful falsettos. He can do the kind of almost Middle Eastern kind of crooning of Maynard James Keenan from Tool, but also the throat ripping stuff that you'd associate with the more kind of hard-edged hardcore bands, like Every Time I Die. So there's a raw punk element to what he does, and then there's just this otherworldly kind of scream, which it's so hard to describe, but it is literally like all of the nastiest, gnarliest kind of hardcore punk screamers just combined together. Like he's unleashing some kind of demon from his voice. And when he goes into that high register, which he does a little bit on the first song, but does a lot more later on, it is just, it's like nothing I've heard. It's like the first time you hear Chris Cornell back in his real kind of peak days before he started becoming a boring kind of blues guy. Glass Built Castles, brilliant way to start this whole thing. Crooks, what an absolute kind of tune that is as well. This one has a bit more pace on it, and there's more of a hardcore feel to it. There's some stunning breakdowns, some really angular riffs, but also some like really kind of beautiful melodic moments as well. Like I said, that's where the kind of Tool thing comes into it. Certainly the more pared down, stripped down elements of Tool can be heard on this album. Particularly like the more somber sections of Lateralis and Anima, where it's just Maynard singing with some like beautiful, clean kind of pick guitars, and that's present on here. But there's also the absolute nasty kind of chaos on there as well. And again, lovely little hint of Dillinger Escape Plan on there. Now, Say You Will is probably Say You Will and the next track, Hang 'Em High, are probably the tracks that I'd say, if you want to know what Will sounds like and his best bits, these are the ones. So Say You Will, it is just, you'd be blown away by this guy's voice. It just absolutely is literally like somebody's opened the fucking tomb in Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever, and this horrible banshee scream comes out, but it's totally in tune. It's the same thing I was talking about ages ago with Cow Decapitation, where it's not really clean singing, but it's definitely kind of singing, but it managed to kind of scream and sing melodically at the same time. Now, I've seen Say You Will live and Hang 'Em High live, actually, and this guy can pull it off. This guy can fucking pull it off. And this is a loud band as well. This is a thunderous band that really enjoyed a great sound in the tent at Download, one of the largest tents at Download, and he just cut through everything. Like the just sheer power and intensity that this guy unleashes, it has to be heard to be believed, and that's why I have to go and see them. And they're doing a double headline tour with Heck, who used to be Baby Godzilla, who are another absolutely fucking incredible band. And Instructions, their new album, you should definitely check out as well. But a bill of those two bands, it's going to be absolutely chaotic. But yeah, I mean, they're just absolutely destroying it at the moment. And there's some really kind of cool lyrics. There's some really kind of politically charged lyrics. Stuff like Statues of Shame and White Eyes. There's references to war and things like that as well. And right at the end as well, there's a track called To Take the First Turn, featuring Jamie Lenman, who, if you know a lot about kind of British rock in the mid-2000s, was in a band called Reuben, who, particularly their album Race Car is Race Car Backwards, produced some truly tragically underrated, brilliant, vital, heavy rock music. Quintessentially British, really ambitious, really angular, and truly original. And it's good to see him make an appearance on here, because there's definitely an influence of Reuben and things like that on this particular album. So, yeah, I can't say enough great things about this album. There's incredible kind of rhythm section on here, some really kind of swinging things, some really chaotic, literally the guy's going to fall off his drum stool kind of work. The bass is pounding, The guitars, this guy's a one-man band. He's like Beck from Glassjaw, where you can't believe it's just one guitar player. And he just conjures up everything from those thundering riffs to those beautiful Middle Eastern kind of octave chord kind of things that Tool do, to nasty angular early Biffy Clyro stuff where is it a chord or has he made a mistake? But it's just controlled chaos. Yeah, Black Peaks, Statues, one of the fucking best British albums to come out in years and years and years. This band are going places, and please catch them live. Even if you don't listen to the album, catch them live because they will absolutely tear the flesh from your face. So yeah, I'm obviously very enthusiastic about this band, so I fully recommend you check out Black Peaks, Statues, and there's loads of other fucking stuff that I want to talk about very soon. So I'll catch you in a bit. Yeah, I just did the horns there because I'm cool. Bye.